Selection Sunday has come and gone, the brackets are out, and March Madness is finally upon us. I'm Kelly Warner here with Hunter Pitcoff and Andrew Destin to go over their picks in each region of this tournament. Let's start with the East. Andrew?
Now, if you look here at this graphic, just coming up now, Cassius Winston here from Michigan State. Michigan State, they're the team that I like coming out of the East. I know they're only the 2 seed and Duke's in that bracket, but I think they're the best team. Look at the Big Ten. It's the best competition. Look who they faced week in and week out. But I like a sleeper team too. Yale, they've got a great matchup. They go up against an LSU team that's in a lot of turmoil. So if anybody's going to be your upset pick for your bracket back home, I look at the Yale basketball team.
All right, and Hunter?
Yeah, I'm going to go the opposite way in the East. The fact that Duke has Zion Williamson back, I really think that puts him over the top. He brings so much to the table. Offensively, obviously, we see the dunks and stuff, but he's also so good on the defensive end of things, and I think Duke really did a good job proving the ACC tournament why they're the top dogs, maybe in the whole tournament. And I look at a team like Louisville. Yeah, they did struggle a little bit toward the end of the ACC, but head coach Chris Mack, this is not a new thing for him. He had great runs at Xavier. I think it's going to be the same with Louisville. And they got a very talented roster as well. So I'm curious to see if them as a 7 seed can possibly make a deep run.
All right, now let's move on to the West.
Now, looking here at this graphic, and I got a little cool one here with the Western background, but Purdue, the team coming out of the Big Ten, they came in 3rd in the Big Ten overall in this last tournament. But you look at this team, 16-4 overall. That's first place in the Big Ten regular season-wise. And I know they've only got notable wins against squads like Michigan State and at the road against Wisconsin. But Matt Painter has a great squad led by a man in Carson Edwards, who's arguably the best player in the country. Now out west, look at UC Irvine. This team went 15-1 in conference, an overall record of 30-5, and they've got some Power 5 wins against Texas A&M and against other notable squads like St. Mary's. So look for Russell Turner's squad to go and have a big upset in that first round.
All right, Hunter?
Yeah, the West is definitely up for grabs. I'm looking at a team like Florida State. Don't be discouraged by the fact that they lost to Duke. They've won 14 out of 16 games, and I like the hot teams entering the tournament. They're 11 guys deep. Their best scorer, Kabengele, he doesn't even start for them. And Leonard Hamilton, they almost made the Final Four last year, barely being edged out by Michigan. I think they can have another Final Four run yet again. And St. John's, I mean, they're hard to predict. It's the Red Storm's basically like predicting the weather. Pretty unpredictable, but when they're hot, they do play up to their competition. And a guy like Shamori Pons, he's a guy who can heat up quickly and definitely can cause some chaos for some of the higher seed teams come March.
All right, now on to the South. Go ahead.
Looking at the South Division, I mean, Kentucky's always somebody you have to look out for. And I know at the regular season early on in non-conference they struggled. But the SEC is no joke. You've got teams in the conference like Tennessee, like Mississippi State, and P.J. Washington and company has really strived in conference play. And you look across the board, look at Wofford. This is a team that, I get it, they're not in the most heralded conference, but if anybody's as good of a 7 seed, I look at the Wofford Terriers.
All right, Hunter?
Yeah, definitely, I agree. Kentucky and Wofford definitely 2 valuable opponents. But I'm looking at teams that maybe have salty taste in the mouth from a season ago. Virginia, probably the biggest upset we've ever seen in college basketball. UMBC blew the socks off the Cavaliers, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think history repeats itself here. I think Virginia's going to have a nice run the tournament this time, and respectively so. Obviously, they're great on defense, always one of the elite in the country, but offensively too. Kyle Guy's been heating up. DeAndre Hunter, probably one of the most improved players in the country, and Ty Jerome running the helm there at point. I think Virginia's a very dangerous team. And Oregon, if they didn't win the Pac-12 this year in the tournament, they wouldn't even be here, but this is a hot team nevertheless. They're currently on an 8-game winning streak. This team with Dana Altman, they've had Final Four appearances. They've gone deep in the tournament before, and I think possibly Wisconsin should probably be looking out for the Ducks right now because that could be a potential 5-12 upset.
You're not wrong. Now finishing off, last but not least, Midwest.
The Midwest region, this is my big finish, really. You got to look at a couple of guys in Jordan Caroline and Rui Hachimura. Rui Hachimura is somebody who's been arguably the best player in the country. I know I mentioned Carson Edwards, but what he's done at Gonzaga has been phenomenal. They've been able to beat teams like Duke in the Hawaii tournament and the Maui Invitational. So Gonzaga is the real deal. This isn't some group of 5 team in football coming in with a victory. Gonzaga's for real. They're 30-3 for a reason. And Jordan Caroline, let's not forget, Nevada was able to get to the Sweet 16 last year as a 7 seed, and they get no respect again. They get the 7 seed, again this year, and they were as high as 6 in the AP poll. So obviously the committee does not agree with the AP rankings, but this Nevada team, it's the real deal.
Yeah, I definitely agree. 2 mid-major teams that 100% could make big runs in the tournament. And I look at a team like Houston, speaking of mid-majors, in the American. I'm just not sold on them yet. I mean, they're great on paper. They're 31-3. They blew through the American, but I don't know if necessarily they have what it takes to make a deep run in the tournament. They rely a lot on their transition and offense as well as making a lot of three-pointers. But the game slows down in March Madness. You're not going to get as many foul calls. The game itself, literally, it's more at a half-court tempo. That's not going to benefit the Cougars very much. And I look at a team like Auburn on the other hand. This is another very hot team. They won the SEC championship in a very stacked SEC this year. They got a plethora of offensive weapons. They got Jared Harper at point, Austin Wiley down low. They got Chumo Kiki, and they got Bryce Brown. I mean, I could even go on about that. And this team is hungry. When you watch them play, Bruce Pearl has them playing at an elite level on both ends of the floor, and they're locked in. I think they could definitely make it far in the tournament.
We'll have to wait and see what happens as the tournament unfolds. I'm Kelly Warner alongside Hunter Pitcoff and Andrew Destin. Thank you for watching Penn State Sports Night.
Thank you for watching our latest edition of Penn State Sports Night. If you're a fan of our content, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more clips. Also follow us on Twitter at PSSN TV and on Instagram at PSU Sports Night to keep up with the action. For all my colleagues, we are Penn State Sports Night.